Hello, and a very warm welcome back to Young at Heart. I am so glad you're here today, because we are going to talk about a connection in your body that might surprise you. And understanding it could be one of the most important things you do for your long-term health. Let's start with a feeling many of you know all too well. You wake up in the morning, and as you try to make a fist, your fingers feel stiff and uncooperative. Or when you stand up from your favorite chair, a dull, persistent ache radiates from your knees. You might just sigh and say, "Well, that's my arthritis acting up again," or simply, "I guess this is what it feels like to get older." You learn to live with this physical pain, accepting it as a normal part of life. But what if I told you, as a brain doctor who has dedicated my life to understanding cognitive health, that this physical pain is a fire alarm for your brain? What if the same smoldering fire that is causing stiffness in your joints could also be quietly damaging your precious memory cells? Today, we are going to uncover this profound link between your body's aches and your brain's health. And more importantly, I am going to reveal 5 simple, powerful options and delicious foods you can eat to help cool those flames from the inside out, protecting both your joints and your mind. So what is this silent fire we're talking about? In medical terms, it's called chronic inflammation. Unlike the acute inflammation you see with a cut or a sprain, which is a good, healthy healing response, chronic inflammation is a low-grade fire that smolders inside your body for months or even years. It damages healthy tissues wherever it goes. In your joints, it leads to the pain and stiffness of arthritis. And in your brain, it can damage neurons and blood vessels, leading to brain fog, memory problems, and a significantly increased risk for dementia down the road. The incredible news is that we are not powerless against this fire. One of the most powerful tools we have to fight it is right on the end of our forks. We can choose foods that act like the most effective firefighters for our body and brain. Let's talk about the top 5 foods that I, as a brain doctor, recommend to all my patients to cool the flames of inflammation. Our first firefighting food, fatty fish. The first group of foods on our list is fatty fish, like wild-caught salmon, mackerel, herring, and sardines. I know fatty can sound like a bad word, but in this case, it's the best kind of fat you can possibly eat. I want to tell you about a patient of mine. Let's call him Arthur. Arthur was a retired woodworker in his late 60s. His greatest joy was spending time in his workshop, carving beautiful little figures out of wood. But his arthritis had gotten so bad in his hands that he could barely hold his tools some mornings. The stiffness and pain were stealing his passion from him. He also mentioned feeling fuzzy and not as sharp as he used to be. I suggested a simple change, to try and eat a serving of salmon twice a week. He was skeptical. How could a piece of fish help his hands? But he was willing to try. After about 2 months of consistently eating fatty fish, he came back to my office with a smile I hadn't seen before. He held up his hands and wiggled his fingers. "Doctor," he said, "the fire is down. Not gone completely, but significantly better." He could hold his tools again, and he said the fuzziness in his head felt like it was starting to clear. So why did this work for Arthur? Fatty fish are packed with a superpower nutrient called omega-3 fatty acids, specifically 2 types called EPA and DHA. These aren't just any fats, they are essential building blocks for your brain cells. But more importantly, they are powerful anti-inflammatory agents. When you eat them, your body converts them into compounds called resolvins and protectins, which, as their names suggest, actively resolve and protect against inflammation. They are like a specialized fire crew that doesn't just put out the fire, but also helps repair the damage. How can you get more of this into your life? It's easier than you think. A simple 4-ounce serving twice a week is a great goal. You can bake a salmon fillet with some lemon and dill. You can buy high-quality canned salmon or sardines and flake them into a salad or make delicious salmon patties for lunch. If you're not a fan of fish, a high-quality third-party tested fish oil supplement is the next best thing, but always talk to your doctor before starting a new supplement. Our second firefighting food, turmeric, our next inflammation fighter, is a vibrant golden spice that has been used in Eastern medicine for thousands of years. Turmeric. Let's talk about Betty. Betty was a retired schoolteacher in her early 70s with nagging knee pain that made it difficult for her to enjoy her daily walks. She had heard about turmeric, but was very skeptical of folk remedies. She believed in modern medicine and thought a spice couldn't possibly make a difference. Still, her daughter encouraged her to try. She started small, adding just half a teaspoon of turmeric powder to her scrambled eggs every morning. For the first couple of weeks, she didn't notice much, but into the third week, she realized her morning walks felt easier. The deep ache in her knees seemed to have quieted down. It wasn't a miracle cure, but it was a noticeable improvement that allowed her to walk longer and with more enjoyment. The magic behind turmeric is its active compound, curcumin. Curcumin is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory substances ever discovered. To put it simply, it works by blocking a key molecule in your body called NF-κB, which acts like a master switch that turns on the genes related to inflammation. By blocking this switch, curcumin effectively tells your body to stop creating the very chemicals that are causing the fire in your joints and brain. Here's a crucial tip for using turmeric. It's not well absorbed by the body on its own. It needs a partner. That partner is black pepper. A compound in black pepper called piperine can increase the absorption of curcumin by up to 2,000%. So whenever you use turmeric, always add a little pinch of black pepper. How to use it? Like Betty, you can add it to your eggs. It's wonderful in soups, stews, and lentil dishes. You can sprinkle it on roasted vegetables or blend it into a smoothie. A popular way to enjoy it is by making golden milk, which is warm milk or a non-dairy alternative mixed with turmeric, a pinch of pepper, and other warm spices like ginger and cinnamon. It's a comforting and powerful anti-inflammatory drink. Our third firefighting food, leafy greens. This one might not surprise you, but its importance cannot be overstated. Dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and collard greens are nutritional powerhouses and potent inflammation fighters. I remember a patient named George, a man who proudly declared that he didn't eat rabbit food. His diet was heavy in meat and potatoes. He also suffered from terrible back pain and was starting to have memory lapses that worried his wife. He associated salads with being on a diet and wanted nothing to do with them. His wife, a very clever woman, started making a simple change. She began adding a large handful of fresh spinach into the blender whenever she made his morning fruit smoothie. The taste of the fruit completely masked the spinach. He had no idea he was drinking it. After a month of this secret ingredient, he mentioned to his wife that his back felt a little less stiff. She also noticed he was quicker with his recall in conversations. When she finally told him her secret, he was shocked, but he couldn't deny he felt better. He even agreed to try a salad now and then. What makes these greens so powerful? They are loaded with antioxidants and polyphenols. Think of the inflammatory process as creating tiny, damaging sparks in your body called free radicals. Antioxidants are like a fire extinguisher, neutralizing these sparks before they can cause a fire. Leafy greens are also rich in vitamin K, which has its own anti-inflammatory properties. By eating these greens regularly, you are constantly supplying your body with the tools it needs to protect itself from cellular damage in both your joints and your brain. The goal is to get at least 1 or 2 servings every day. It's easy. Add a handful of spinach to your smoothie, like George's wife did. Make a big salad for lunch. Sauté some kale or Swiss chard with garlic and olive oil as a delicious side dish for dinner. Or wilt a big bunch of greens into your favorite soup or stew. Our 4th firefighting food, berries. Now for a delicious way to fight inflammation, berries. All berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, are packed with anti-inflammatory power. Let's talk about Eleanor. Eleanor had a sweet tooth, and her go-to evening snack while watching TV was a bowl of ice cream or a couple of cookies. She suffered from hip pain and also complained of persistent brain fog, feeling like her thoughts were moving through mud. She felt like she had to choose between enjoying her life and being healthy. We talked about a simple swap. I suggested that for 1 week, she replace her nightly ice cream with a beautiful bowl of mixed berries, maybe with a small dollop of plain yogurt. She was hesitant, but agreed. The first thing she noticed was that she didn't have the sugar crash she usually felt after her old dessert. But after a couple of weeks, something more remarkable happened. She told me the mud in her brain felt like it was clearing. Her thinking felt quicker and clearer. Her hip pain hadn't vanished, but it felt less intense. The secret weapon in berries is a type of antioxidant called anthocyanins. These are the very compounds that give berries their rich red, blue, and purple colors. These powerful plant nutrients have been shown in studies to reduce inflammation throughout the body. What's particularly exciting for brain health is that they can cross the blood-brain barrier, allowing them to exert their anti-inflammatory and protective effects directly on your brain cells. That's why blueberries are often called brain berries. Enjoying berries is pure pleasure. Have a bowl of fresh berries for a snack. Add them to your morning oatmeal or yogurt. Blend a cup of frozen berries into a smoothie for a refreshing and powerful antioxidant boost. They are nature's candy and one of the best medicines you can eat. Our 5th firefighting food, walnuts, last but certainly not least on our list, is a crunchy, satisfying, and incredibly powerful nut, the walnut. While all nuts have health benefits, walnuts are unique. They are one of the few plant-based foods that are an excellent source of those anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids we talked about with fish. This makes them a fantastic choice, especially for those who don't eat fish regularly. I had a patient named David who was a big-time snacker. His downfall was potato chips in the afternoon. He needed that crunch and savory flavor. He knew it wasn't healthy, but he didn't know what to replace it with. We talked about walnuts. He started keeping a small bag of raw, unsalted walnuts in his car and at his desk. When the urge to snack hit, he would have a small handful. He not only lost a few pounds, but he reported feeling more sustained energy in the afternoons, without the slump he got from chips. He was surprised when I told him he was also doing one of the best things possible for his brain health. Beyond the omega-3s, walnuts are also packed with a host of other antioxidants and polyphenols that work together to fight inflammation. Studies have shown that regular consumption of walnuts can improve cognitive function and memory. Their combination of healthy fat, fiber, and protein also makes them very satisfying, helping to keep you full and preventing you from reaching for less healthy, pro-inflammatory snacks. The key here is moderation, as nuts are calorie-dense. A small handful, about 1/4 cup per day, is a perfect amount. Enjoy them as a simple snack. Chop them up and sprinkle them on your salad or oatmeal for a delightful crunch. They are a simple, delicious, and powerful way to fight the silent fire. So, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned today. We've discovered that the aches and pains in our joints are not just isolated physical problems. They are often signals of a deeper issue, chronic inflammation, a silent fire that can affect every part of our body, including our precious brain. But the most important message I want you to take away is one of hope and empowerment. You are not a helpless victim of this process. You have the power to become your own body's best firefighter by choosing delicious, powerful anti-inflammatory foods like fatty fish, turmeric, leafy greens, berries, and walnuts. You can cool those flames from the inside out. You can take active steps to soothe your joints, clear your mind, and protect your health for the long term. Now, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by this information. The goal is not to completely change your diet overnight. The journey to better health is built on small, consistent, positive choices. So, I invite you to try just one thing this week. Just one. Could you swap your usual snack for a handful of walnuts, or add a cup of berries to your breakfast? Perhaps you could try adding salmon to your dinner menu one night this week. Choose one small, achievable step that feels good to you. Remember, every single healthy choice you make is an investment in your future. It's a loving act of self-care. Be consistent, be patient with your body, and you will be rewarded with less pain, more energy, and the clear-headed vitality you deserve. If you found this conversation valuable and caring, please consider giving this video a like to help it reach other seniors who need to hear this message. And please, subscribe to the Young at Heart channel so we can continue to share trustworthy, empowering health information with our wonderful community. Thank you for your time and your trust today. Be well, eat well, and I look forward to seeing you again right here in our next video.